While my husband, Finn, was out, I and checked through his room. And while I was looking through, I found several receipts in his drawer. I checked what the receipts were found that they were receipts for WC brand bags. I had never received brand bags as my husband, and when I searched Arc Room, I could not really find any sea bags. So he must have given it to his love is having an affair with. I can't believe he used our credit card that we share as a family to buy his gifts. If he is really using our credit card, doesn't that mean that he is using it too? I really had no idea that my husband's such a horrible prick. My name is Abby, and I'm a 40-year-old office worker. I work at a very well-known clothing store, so thankfully, they pay me pretty. And because I have been working hard in life, I currently working in a high-level position at my department E. I enjoy my job so much and find it rewarding that I hope to keep my same work until my retirement. And even though I'm a workaholic and am very busy, I actually have a family. I have been married to my husband 10 years now. Our son Theo is now 10 years old, which is the same age as our marriage. All three of us are living happily together as a family, but that doesn't mean I don't have any worries about my family. My number one worry that I have is husband does not work very much. The first time I met Finn was originally through work. When the brand's clothing appeared in a fashion magazine, they had a model come in to do a photo shoot with the product, and my husband was one of them. Because Finn was a fashion model, he was quite handsome and had a very bright personality around him. I think he was on a roll at the time with various modeling jobs in high fashion magazines. When I spoke with him, I discovered that he had similar taste in music and shows as me, and we clicked immediately. Then we naturally started going out to dinner together, and that was the start of our relationship. After 2 years of dating, we found out that Of was pregnant with our child, and we got married. In other words, we had a shotgun mark. But we were very close as a couple already had marriage in our minds while dating each other, so the pregnancy just accelerated our marriage. After the birth of our child, Theo, we were happy in our own way, but my husband's modeling work declined dramatically. When he turned 25 and in his late 20s, the job offers suddenly decreased compared to before. But as I was working for a major brand corporation, we honestly had no trouble making ends meet. I hoped that my husband would find something else he wanted to do and go on a different path for his career. But it seemed like Finn didn't want something new, even though his work decreasing, and after years, he ended up having 0 jobs. It's not like he's also doing any HE, and he just completely became an unemployed bum. Well, when I was busy, he would stay with Theo, which was helpful. But my husband never tried to work after that. Even after Theo got in elementary, S no longer needed that much help, as Finn was still unemployed. It's the same even now. And I have what Finn exactly does, but he just around at home all the time. I've been getting busier and busier with work, so it's been difficult to give my husband the proper attention he needs. So I do think that I'm also responsible for making my husband become like that, which is why I have been trying various strategies to motivate Finn to get to work as much as possible. 35-year-olds should definitely appear in fashion magazines. You're never too old to look fabulous. I thought that by saying it this way might motivate Finn to try modeling. But my husband responds like this.
Oh, but that's just such a huge hassle. Besides, shooting takes up the whole.
Well, yeah, that's what jobs are you?
But I don't want to do that. it's not a great working condition.
Okay, I see. But are you planning not to work for?
Well, that actually sounds great. Do you think?
What did he mean by it sounds great? Even though my husband was in that situation, I didn't think about divorce at all. Theo is still small, and my husband basically a very kind father. To him, son calls him daddy, and Theo loves father very much. So I didn't think it was right to father away from him because of my reasons. And even though my husband is 35 years old, he's still handsome as he was when he was a model. Although I often see other colleagues working out at the gym. Hmm? Do you think that your husband is still handsome? I still think that Finn is the most handsome looking compared to, well, maybe it's because Finn goes to kickboxing gym frequently while I work, and he has a great shape. If only he would work, then he would be perfect. One day, as I was thinking about it, my husband came home wearing a suit from the morning.
What happened, honey? Why are you wearing a suit?
Oh, I'm only going to a job interview.
A job interview?
I have a friend who is a model, and she could introduce me to an agency. I've been told that they want to in me, or at least see what kind of
Oh, is that right? Well then, please do your best, and honey.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna go now.
I was so happy to find out about that. Finally, Finn got the motivation to working.
Oh, Theo. Maybe Daddy will show up in the magazine again.
Oh, wow, really? If Daddy is going to be on the magazine, I'm going to tell all my friends about it.
I headed to work that day in a great mood. Then, after finishing my work, I left early, eager to find out how Finn's day had gone. But when I got home, it seemed like my husband had not come home.
Oh, Theo, did Daddy come home once?
Nope, I don't think so. When I got home, Daddy wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
In the end, my husband didn't come back until 2. And I had been waiting up for him since midnight. Since the next day was a Saturday, and it was my day off, I stayed up and waited. My husband looked completely drunk, knowing whether he had noticed me, or fell right onto the living room. Cole fell asleep. I saw that Finn had his phone in his. I know that I shouldn't have, but for some reason, I felt a tremendous urge to phone. So then I pulled out my husband's phone, gently holding out his thumb to unlock the fingerprint password, and after it unlocked, I looked into his messages. And to my shock, I found that it was not a joke. He was having an intimate conversation via text messages with a woman named Ruby. Looking at his WhatsApp, I saw a mess Ruby, which said dinner today was delicious, and the hotel afterwards too. What the hell is this? I immediately took a photo of it and when I looked at the icon of the named Ruby, I saw a face in which I before. This woman is, if I remember correctly, Ruby was a fashion magazine until a few years ago. I also had the chance to work with her several times, but she got married and quit her moo job. Does that mean that both Finn and Arl married, but they're having an affair not just with my back, but behind Ruby's back as well? I was filled with tremendous anger. Decided to just wait and see what Mai would say tomorrow. And the next morning, I woke up Mai, who was still sleeping on the couch.
Oh, I must have fallen asleep on the couch.
Didn't you have a job interview?
Yes.
You came home around 2 a.m., didn't you?
Job interview? Oh, yeah. I had the interview and I met up with an acquaintance at the pub and we went straight out for a drink. We hadn't seen each other in a while, so we decided to catch up with some time.
As Finn explained, it looked like he was trying to hide something.
Who is this acquaintance of yours?
Oh, he's just an old model friend. I don't think you've ever worked with Abby.
Oh, okay then. I see.
The fact that he hides the truth about him meeting a woman named Ruby is pretty suspicious. I definitely think that he is having an affair behind my back. Once I found something suspicious, I always find something even more suspicious, and that was the credit card bill L. Until recently, I used to buy clothes and other things for work and hobbies on a credit card that was shared between me and my wife. But I have been quite busy at work past few months and have not had tin much shopping. So our credit card bill should only amount, and yet the bill was higher than the amount. As I checked and looked back, it's this for the last few months. I've just been too busy with work to, oh, it can't be. I began to suspect that my husband, our credit card, I did also give my husband the credit card as I was thinking for the family. Basically, he spends about the same every month. So I was concerned, but it seems that he was spending money secretly. I am sure that he is spending it on things related to his affair with Ruby. I guess my husband thought he could fool me by lying about his previous interview. So after that, he began frequently on weekends saying things like, I was invited by an acquaintance from the agency for a job interview. So it looks like he is having an affair without any hesitation. Well, if that's the case, then I'll find out all about it while I can. While my husband, Finn, was out, I checked through his room. I had never received brand bags as my husband, and when I searched Arc Room, I could not really find any UC bags. If he's really using our credit card, doesn't that mean he's using it too? I really had no idea that my husband's such a horrible prick. I thought that even though Finn didn't say anything, he was still thinking about me and trying to take care of our family. Then one day, my husband, perhaps feeling comfortable enough to think that I wouldn't find out about his affair, said something unexpected.
One of my model friends invited me on a 3-day weekend. Can I go?
Oh really? But what about money?
Oh, I live and do it within my budget, and so it's not a problem. But if I refuse, it might affect my reputation to receive jobs in the future.
Oh, what jobs?
Oh, so I have a friend who might to get me a job. So if I stay on good terms with him, will I get a good job?
Oh, is that so?
How could he tell a lie like that W straight face? I knew that this trip was for him and his lover, Ruby anyway, but I also felt lucky. It's because I finally had a chance, the revenge on Finn. On the day of his trip, I saw him on with Theo, with a smile on our faces. It was probably the last smile I would give to Finn. Then I squatted down and made eye contact with my son and told him what I was thinking.
Theo, I want to live away from your. I know this is very sudden for you. I'm really sorry about it. But I have chosen who you want to live with from now on.
Was I being a little cruel? How could I force a 10-year-old such a choice? But my son answered immediately.
I'm going to live with Mummy.
Really? You won't be able to see your daddy compared to before, you know?
That's okay, because Daddy is giving hard time, right? Besides, he's been hanging out with a guy I don't know lately.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
When I come home from school, sometimes this woman who I've never seen before is with my daddy.
What? He brought that woman into our house?
Dad said she worked with him, but she left when you showed up, so I don't really know who she is.
How horrible and selfish can Finn be? I can't believe that was how Finn T deceive our son too. Hearing this, I was completely over. At first, I was going to just stop the card in time for Finn's trip, but I changed my plans. I'm gonna full-on revenge him. I knew who Ruby's husband was, and I visited him at his home with a business associate a long time ago. They lived in a pretty nice house, and they probably never moved out yet. Just in case, I checked Ruby's Facebook and found Ruby's husband's profile. Good. They still live in the same house as far as I can tell from the recent photo which showed their home. I got in touch with my parents and my brothers and explained the situation. They all came immediately to help Finn with his belongings. I then sent my husband's belongings to the house where Ruby lived, along with a letter explaining the affair and asking for forgiveness from Ruby's husband. Then I suspended my credit card with Finn and packed up our stuff out.
Theo, now that we've stopped Daddy, let's get out of here.
Yeah, sure.
For now, we've decided to go straight to our parents' house and stay there temporarily. It was very relaxing to go back to my parents' house and eat my mother's home-cooked meal for the first time in a while. My father was very happy to see his Theo. And in the evening, I received a phone call from Finn.
Hello?
Oh, Abby, I'm sorry. It's urgent, so could you transfer to my account?
Why?
I'm a little short on money.
You said you would do it within your savings.
I did, but please.
How are you going to pay me back when I'm not even working?
Well, you see, sooner or later, it was decided that I would get a job with the company. Please, I beg you, if I'm the only one who has to come this, then they wouldn't even think of working with me, you know?
Then where is this agency that you're about to get a job? Can you please provide more information about the agency and the mode of transportation that you will be using to get to work? You can't say it. Why not?
I completely forgot. What are you gonna do with that?
I will call that agency and check.
No, don't do that. You'll embarrass me.
Why don't you just stop telling stupid lies already? You're traveling with a woman, right?
Whoa, what are you talking about?
Ruby Green. She's a former model who used to work out a lot, right? Now she's a married housewife.
Then Finn let out a little scream that I had never heard before, and he sounded really upset.
Ooh, well, that's just crazy talk.
Then who did you give all the brand? You gave them to her with our credit, didn't you?
I don't really know what you're about.
Well, it's okay, because the truth out sooner or later. For now, I've suspended the credit. I don't know if it's the hotel or restaurant bill that you guys can't pay. You're all on your own. When you get home, just sign the die papers. Goodbye.
What the hell are you saying?
I hung up on him and turned off my, like that, Finn wouldn't be able to today. He'd better suffer on his trip. A few days later, my husband came to our parents' house with an exhausted look on his face.
Oh, Abby, I'm really sorry, so please forgive me.
Saying that, my husband gets down or knees to beg.
I will not forgive you, and I've already started divorce proceedings. I can't stay married to someone who cheated on me behind my back and betrayed my trust.
No way. If it stays like this, I'll be in big trouble.
According to Finn, Ruby's husband F about the affair when I sent Finn's belongings to Ruby's house and came Finn's house after the trip. And now Finn is in trouble because husband is demanding alimony from H.
Well, it's none of my business now. And, of course, I'm going to charge Ruby alimony too. Oh, and you have to pay child support.
Oh, no. What happened?
I'm sure you destroyed the divorce, which I left at home anyway. So here I am for you.
What do you mean?
Then, surrounded by my family, Finn choice, but to sign the divorce paper could not escape any longer. After that, the divorce was success finalized. My ex-husband and his lover both have alimony. My ex-husband is now working as a bartender at a bar in order to pay alimony and child support. One of my colleagues went to the bar Finn out and she told me that he was teased by his other colleagues who were more than a year younger than him. Oh, man, hurry up and make this drink. Well, it's what he deserves. On the other hand, I rented an apartment for my office where my son and I now work together happily. My son is handsome, just like Finn, so make sure to straighten Theo's hair, and so that Theo wouldn't turn out to be Finn.
Finn is what you would call a typical, good-for-nothing man. Why are there so many handsome guys, pricks like Finn in the world? But despite everything that had happened, Abby was good at her job, very diligent, and very smart. I hope that Abby's son, Theo, inherits her personality.
Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.